like foreigner. Good morning, Lourdes.
Good morning, Maria. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. How about you? How are you doing today?
I am well. I'm good.
Good. And we have a fantastic topic today. We are going to dive deep into healing childhood wounds in relationship because, you know, our relationships right now have a lot to do with the relationships that we grew up with, right? We are in a lot of cases mirroring the relationships that we had in the past. So I think that, excuse me, a lot of things that people notice is that if you find yourself stuck in the same relationship patterns, maybe you're chasing love, pushing it away, or feeling like you're never enough. This happens to a lot of people, so you're not alone. A lot of this, it comes from those beliefs we picked up as kids about love, safety, and our worth. And today we're going to unpack that. Together, we're going to explore how childhood experiences shape our love life, how to spot and rewire those limiting beliefs, and how to turn past wounds into strengths that make our relationship healthier and deeper.
Yeah, so let's dive in. Let's start with the beliefs we didn't choose. So think back for a second. What did love look like in your home growing up? Was it warm and safe? Was it inconsistent? Maybe love meant earning approval, or maybe it felt out of reach. Whatever it was, those early experiences shaped the way we show up in love today. So here are some common limiting beliefs that we might have absorbed in our childhood. I have to earn love. If I speak my needs, I'll be abandoned. Love is unpredictable, so I need to control everything. I can't trust people to stay. And I'm too much for people. Do any of these sound familiar? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. But here's the good news. These beliefs were learned, which means we can unlearn them.
Yeah, definitely. So let's just dive a little deeper into that. How these wounds show up in love. So here are 4 negative habits or beliefs that stem from the childhood wounds and show up in our love relationships, beginning with fear of abandonment, that clinginess or over-attachment. So as a child, if love felt inconsistent or caregivers were emotionally unavailable, you may have learned that people leave. And how it shows up is that you might become overly anxious in relationships, seeking constant reassurance, fearing rejection, or staying in unhealthy dynamics just to avoid being alone. And if love felt inconsistent, you might overtext. It might show up that you're over texting or over apologizing or needing that constant reassurance, that constant touch or connection with the other person, just so that you can confirm that they're not leaving, because deep down, you're afraid that they're going to go.
And if you felt that you had to earn love as a child, this can result in people pleasing and overgiving. In childhood, if love was conditional based on achievements or obedience, you may believe that you're only worthy when you're useful to others. And this shows up in your overextending yourself, ignoring your own needs, and suppressing emotions to keep the peace, often at the cost of your own well-being.
Yes. And love is unsafe. And so how that shows up is the emotional walls and avoidance. So if love was chaotic or unpredictable or painful, you may have learned that vulnerability leads to hurt. So you shy away from that, from getting close. And how it shows up is you struggle to open up and push people away when they get too close, or you avoid commitment altogether to protect yourself from that potential pain, even when you really want connection.
Another thing to look for, be aware of, is the feeling of not feeling like you're enough. And this can be seen in self-sabotaging behavior, in settling for less. In childhood, if you experienced a lot of criticism, neglect, or comparison, you may have internalized the belief that you are unworthy of deep, healthy love. This shows up in your unconsciously choosing partners who reinforce this belief. And you might settle for emotionally unavailable people or sabotage good relationships because deep down, you don't believe you deserve happiness. But again, these beliefs were learned, which means that they can be unlearned. Healing starts with awareness. So pay attention to your patterns, challenge the old story, and remind yourself you are worthy of love exactly as you are.
Right. And one of the things that, while we're talking about relationships, it's not just your partner or your spouse, it's also the relationships that you have and how you interact with your friends and even your coworkers and even your boss. I mean, I remember, I had a weird relationship with some of my bosses when I was in my early 30s because I had a weird relationship with my dad. So they became kind of like father figures when they were my bosses. So relationship, how you grow up in relationship with your parents can show up again and again in relationship with other people, not just people you're intimate with, a partner or spouse.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, similar. I've had similar, experiences with employers, male employers,
Mm-hmm.
who, kind of did fill in a really actually wonderful, nurturing way,
Mm-hmm.
providing that father figure that I didn't experience at home. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so let's talk about 3 steps to restructure limiting beliefs. So pause for a second. What's one belief about love you might have inherited that no longer serves you? What relationship habits or beliefs from your childhood are you mirroring or recreating in your relationship right now? And here are 3 steps to help you restructure these limiting beliefs.
Yeah, catch the belief in action. Next time you feel yourself pulling away, over apologizing, or second guessing your worth in love, pause. Ask yourself, is this actually true, or is this just an old belief talking? 9 times out of 10, it's the old belief.
Yeah. And number 2, reframe that narrative. And I think this is something that we talk about a lot. What is the old belief? For example, I have learned I have to earn love, and then find evidence against it. I have friends who love me as I am is a possible response to that. And then the new belief, knowing this, love is a place where I already belong.
And perhaps engage in behavior experiments. We change our beliefs by acting in ways that prove them wrong. So if you have a belief that you can't be vulnerable, try sharing something small and noticing how the safe people in
Mhm.
your life respond. And if you believe too much, practice asking for what you need and seeing how the right people step up. So we've given you a taste of how your beliefs are affecting your current relationships. Next week, we'll be back with strategies on how to rewrite your love story. In the meantime, if anyone listening needs support, please reach out. We're here to help.
Thank you.